Hello and welcome, family, to another episode of Dr. Mumbi's Spiritual Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms, in your own rhythm, in your own vibe, in your own narrative story, your own narrative. It is absolutely critical at such a time as this, family, with everything that's going on and with so many lies being told and so much, truth being hidden. It is really important for you to find your own truth and to allow spirit to lead you to different truths, because they're all hidden. Everything is out there, but it's like it's either veiled, it's hidden, it's been misrepresented, etc., etc. So you have to start seeing everything with a spiritual eye in order to really understand and overstand what's really going on. And then you have to also cultivate and develop your own inner reasoning, where you just sit with yourself and kind of just allow that spirit within to kind of reveal to you some of the things that are going on in your own family, in your own environment, and in the world at large, family. But this is one of the greatest awakenings ever, because you don't need anyone to have a revival in your life. You don't need anyone to have an awakening in your experience and totally change your world around. You don't need no pastor, you don't need no priest, you don't need no preacher. Everything that you need for this great transition is within you. If you were stuck in a forest somewhere, you would still reach that enlightenment. And sometimes those voices are actually more of a distraction and a hindrance. And many have found that those that they called their spiritual fathers or their spiritual teachers or their spiritual masters, if those people ever stopped their own evolution and growth, it affected them. Or if those people were stuck in one way of thinking and they wanted to graduate from them, they couldn't, talking about pastors, etc. But in this season, family, you have everything within you, and the codes are hitting us from the atmosphere, from the sun, from the increasing heat of the sun. So you have everything you need to change your life and to literally sit and change this and walk outside and see your entire reality change. Like for real, family. So it's all about you right now, making you a priority. And you being your own universe. Let me tell you something, family. I wrote a book called Your Own Universe, when I was like 16 or 17 years old. I just found it recently. And because I was still in that Catholic Christian paradigm under my parents, I thought I was losing my mind. I thought some demon was speaking through me. And yet I found it a decade or so later. And it's totally transformational, like where my mind was at that time. But the wrong voices were speaking into my life. And so I could not actualize that as my narrative. The key to this season, family, is to stand in your power. And standing in your power doesn't mean you're rude. It doesn't mean you're arrogant. It doesn't mean you're aggressive. It doesn't mean you hate people. It means you love yourself first. That you realize it really is all about you, and you're only as useful to others as much as you love yourself, if that made any sense. And we are in such a delicate birthing of ourselves, family. So much has been revealed and shed, like we've closed out a book of life. We're opening a new book of life, family. And it's all mental. It's all about creating that narrative mentally for ourselves with the information that we have available to us and the information that is incoming, the information that is all around us, all the books and everything. We're in an information age, family. I think I have a library of like 5 to 6 thousand books. And I haven't really read many of them, to be very honest. But some are some valuable ancient texts, family. So all this information is around me. But it's like, where do I put my focus and attention? Because that is the key. That is the key to like your sovereignty. And through your sovereignty, your elevation to a whole new level of who you are. It's so exciting that you don't need anyone. You could be as poor as a brick, nothing to your name, as some of you have put it in your emails. But if you start to cultivate and change this, you can still change your life. You can be all alone and transform. And that is the kind of the blessing of this season, family, that we have to seize, which means that we also have to take responsibility. We have to take responsibility to be with ourselves, to protect our space, to protect this introduction, this first chapter of our new book of life, which is like our birthing. If it was the other book of life, we'd literally have just been born and finding out how to eat, drink, talk, walk. So we're doing it now in an elevated mental state, like figuring out the basics of how this new spiritual reality and this new spiritual dispensation works, because we are in a new spiritual dispensation. And so there's just some things that I do, family. First of all, I really protect my gates, what I watch, what I listen to, the conversations I have with others, what I eat as well, the environments I'm in, which is all about my smell. And noticing how powerful it is, like how a change of smell, like burning a certain incense or burning a certain candle, can literally also change the dynamics of your mind and your reality. But those are stories for other days. So I protect my gates so much by spending a lot of my time, I wouldn't say in isolation, but in my own narrative, in my own little bubble, family. And because I'm creating this, I'm birthing this new world for myself. There's times where I'll have a conversation with a friend and I literally won't be able to continue because it's going back to the previous book of life and I'm not there anymore. Where we talk about how we don't have this and we don't have that and the black people are trodden. No, like I literally can't get in that space anymore. Sometimes I may have to reveal certain things on this channel, but it's not a part of my daily life like that. Because I'm seeing how we've won already. It's not in the end we won. We are in the end and we have won. So in this time, protect your gates, family. And another important gate is your sexual gate, who you're exchanging that intimate information with. So be very self responsible and self protective especially when it comes to what you're taking in emotionally, yeah, physically as well, eating, etc., etc. That will set the mood and set the tone. But what you're taking in mentally, what you're taking in spiritually, and what you're taking in emotionally. Every day you should feel a slight shift and change in who you are. Like you move closer to that. Some days it's a bigger shift than others. Some days it can feel like you took 10 steps back because it's just so emotional. There's a release. But just know that you have what it takes, family. And in this new dispensation, your inner world, which is what has always happened, by the way, your inner world will be reflected by your outer reality. So all those things you desire, the wealth, the this, the that, will happen when you take care of this and you make yourself a wealthy individual on the inside, full of love, full of knowledge, full of wisdom, full of magic. That's the wealth of this generation, where you are a presence, where you're a vibe, yo. You go somewhere and it shifts the atmosphere. That's the true wealth of this season. And once you do that, you're going to go deeper in this journey because it's layer and after layer, level after level, family. The universe is on an expansive vibe right now, which means there's so much more for us to discover. So we need to get through this kindergarten stuff in our own pace at the right time so that we can climb further in our consciousness. But the way we make a consciousness shift right now is my feeding ourselves the highest level mental food, emotional food. And when I say emotional food, love, joy, peace, mental food, knowledge, information about things we've never ever thought about, metaphysics, this, that. We are in the best of times for those who do the work, and for those who don't do the work, we're in the worst of times. It may not seem easy for you who are going through it right now, but trust me, it's worth it. Tuko pamoja. Looking for a conscious community, or for people who are on their awakening journey, on their transition to an off-grid living in your country, well, we have the solution, family. We're calling it Unity Communities. We get so many emails every week from people who ask if I know of people in their region or people in their city or people in their town who are on a similar kind of journey, who have broken away or are breaking away from the religious psychosis, and they're looking for just people who think the same way in their town, in their city. But more importantly, to give us a community where we feel understood, understood, overstood, where we can bond with people of like mind. And if you feel called to be part of this, definitely email me at drmumbi at drmumbishow.com. Please put your country in the subject line with Unity Communities. Get in touch with me, drmumbi at drmumbishow.com. Unity Communities.